Namaste and have a margarita, guys. It is the weekend. I hope you guys made it through the week. Thank you guys so much for suggesting this particular pick a card. This is this another karmic lesson, or is he the one? Okay. So your timestamps, ways to book with me, ways to join me on Patreon, and visit me at my gift shop. All of that information is in your description box below, and feel free to pause the video if you need more time making a decision, and I will see you guys at your pile. Alright, pile number one. So is this another karmic lesson, or is he or she the one? So really the shared energy between the two of you is love. I mean, but when you take a closer look at the picture, there's a bit of worry, concern, almost as if you're questioning the connection. You're questioning maybe what's on his mind, something like this here. And it's also stemming from the Seven of Pumpkins energy, okay? Which is, in some ways, this is, an energy. When you look at these two side by side, we're looking at energies that kind of just say, that there are some worries, some doubts, some concerns. Like the reassurances are coming through very loud and clear here. The expressions on their face are telling me a lot too. So I don't know if this was some kind of disagreement or argument, or just something fell out of alignment between the two of you. But there's some obvious healing that needs to take place in this energy, okay? With the flirt card, I'm gathering more of a light-hearted kind of conversation to bring this back into some kind of alignment here, okay? That's really what I'm gathering here. But of course there are some lessons that are being learned in this energy, right? But I think more importantly, what this is just you needing some reassurances of this connection, okay? And I'm very hopeful about what's happening here, because the Not For You card is in reverse, okay? Which tells me that this is, good fortune on your side here. Good fortune is on your side when it's in reverse. And I just think that this is just a connection that the communication went south very quickly, but this is fixable, this is mendable, okay? In this kind of energy, this is an energy that talks all about air, fire, water, earth, and the witch is basically, the catalyst for the change here, okay? So when I see this card, this tells me that something in this energy has to change, okay? There's an obvious pattern, and once you notice any kind of patterns, that would tell you that this is a karmic cycle. There's a karmic lesson in this, okay? But this is, this is the energy that says, you can make the changes, okay? You have the magic within, the power within. This is also an energy for, that talks about personal growth, okay? So that's really coming through really loud and clear. This is also an energy that talks about new friends, new friendships, new opportunities, in kind of detaching from the outcome of situations, but incorporating like that healing energy. Okay, so this energy is like more about healing. You know, the witch, she puts her herbs in her cauldron and she conjures up spells and whatever she does to bring in the healing. Okay, so healing is very loud and clear in this energy. Okay, there's and the need for the reassurances, and that's what's really shining through in this energy, guys. Okay, so whatever has taken place, I feel deep down in my heart that this is a fixable situation here. Okay, we have to open up the doorways of communication. We have to communicate with our heart, and not so much our ego. And I'm getting the chills as I talk about this. Okay, and it is that maybe the two of you need to pull away and take a break for a little while, and then come back together, and work on the issues that were happening here. Okay, having this much needed conversation, I feel, but I also feel like, you know, this could be like the two of you getting away for a little while, you know, going and maybe having a weekend getaway or something like this, something that's gonna help bring in some kind of just you time, the two of you time. Okay, and where you guys can sit in quiet and just kind of talk about things. And you know, I just feel like this is seeing eye to eye. Okay, because that's what I hear. I hear like seeing eye to eye here. But nonetheless, there's a lot of passion in this connection. Okay, and it's really showing up in this page energy. And again, this is tying into the flirtation card, because you know it's about keeping things lighthearted. It's about keeping things, I want to say, in a mischievous kind of way, because that's what carries through. And this kind of energy is keeping it fun and not screaming at each other or something like that, or talking down to one another. Something like that is definitely coming through here. You know, normally when I see this energy, this feels like is more of like a free-spirited kind of energy, where you just kind of go with it, and you don't have any, you don't want to hold any grudges, I guess, in a sense. That's what I'm gathering and I'm picking up with that. Okay, but this also talks about, you know, bringing in some good news to start. You know, like, I feel like this is what's going to happen, you know, in this connection. Like, the two of you sit down, you talk, and you say, you know what, okay, we hash this out, you know, or whatever, however this is tying in, okay? But you work on it here, okay? And you guys begin again, okay? Because this is like starting over again. The both of you regain your confidence in this connection, okay? Because again, this was all about just needing the reassurances from him or from her. You know, are we done, or is this over with? You know, that kind of thing. It's just you guys get into a place where you bring each other reassurance, okay? So that question in your mind is like, is he the one? Yes, as long as you guys can work on whatever this was here, you know, whatever the healing, because we're talking about, you know, that healing that has to take place in order for this connection to move along, you know. And it could very well be that the witch, you know, the witch's card is about you weaving this into this connection, you know, you stepping in and you saying, you know, let's go away for a minute and just sit down and talk. And this doesn't even have to be like a faraway location. It could just be the coffee shop or something. Let's just sit down and talk about this. I just want to move away from from all this turbulence that we've been experiencing together. And maybe it is that, you share children, but there are children being mixed into this, okay? But how do we make this right? How do we set an example for our children? How do we, that kind of thing, that's really what's coming through. But keeping in mind that the two of you have this opportunity for this to go somewhere, okay? I just think that this was a bit of a setback, okay? And keeping in mind that there was a lot of growth in this. A lot of personal growth is coming through in this energy, okay? So moving on, if you're still kind of wondering, this is the Nine of Ghosts. I love these little cards, but this is the energy that talks to us about, any of the concerns that you were having here are basically smoothing out, working themselves out. The two of you come back and you figure this whole thing out, and you get back on track here because you're almost at a completion of this entire cycle here, okay? Again, you've learned something from this. So the next time this kind of issue comes back and presents itself, you're like, you know what? I know how to handle this. We've been there before. We've done that before. We can't do this again, okay? Because you've learned your lesson, okay? But the Nine of Ghosts, but this is this does talk about returning back into some kind of inner happiness, that making things right, smoothing things out. A lot of the concerns of this just kind of, fall away, disappear. It's also like returning back into, that love for each other, and that love for life even. But again, whatever you have experienced here, I think that the more important thing here is to not hold any kind of grudge against this person that's on your mind. Be the catalyst for the change here, okay? Get out your herbs and start stirring stuff in your cauldron and do what you gotta do to make it happen, okay? Because if this person is a little reserved, a little pulled back, because it is very possible that they kind of pulled away from this connection for a while, especially in these two energies sitting side by side. Maybe it is that you're the one who steps in and gets this moving here, okay? It's also going to be very important to be very patient with each other in this kind of energy. Not only is this about the reassurances that I was picking up at the very beginning of your spread, but this is also about just being patient with one another. You guys are learning and teaching from each other. So, which is kind of like what is concluding this particular energy, okay, guys? So, let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about this. I feel pretty positive about it. There's definitely some love, but there's a little bit of work that has to happen in here, okay? So just let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about it, and make sure to give the video a thumbs up. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye. Hey, pile number 2. So is this a karmic lesson, or is he the one? It's interesting because we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card, and that tells us right away that this is another karmic lesson. However, there's more information in here that I see. And I immediately get this feeling that a lot of you are aware that this is a karmic lesson. You guys are really questioning what's happening here, questioning what's going on in this connection. A lot of that is happening in this energy. And some of you guys are trying to figure out, do I stay, do I go, do I just let this go, or do I hang on to this, or something like this here. A lot of teeter-totter, in the mind, I guess you can say here, okay? So, I don't necessarily see this, the paying attention to the red flags as something nerve-wracking or something that like there's deceit or anything like this here. What I'm kind of gathering here is that there is a lot. There are things left unsaid. There are things left unfinished. I just feel like that, and I think this is you just trying to find the answers to your questions when it comes to this person. For some of this, you get the feeling that this person is definitely holding back on you. Okay, they're holding back, and it's interesting too because the paying attention to the red flag, the truth be told, and saying what you mean. So it puts more emphasis on the fact that there is something that has not been said to you yet, or something that has not made you feel maybe comfortable, or something is just missing here. There's a missing piece to this puzzle for you, and you're trying to figure it out here, I think. And then some of you guys are trying to figure out, should I just open up and tell them what's on my mind, or are you waiting for this person to open up and waiting for them to open up and tell you what's on their mind about this connection here? Okay, now I will say, if you haven't had any communication with this person in a very long time, I would say sayonara. Okay, leave them alone. Don't bother with them, because in some of this energy, I don't feel like they're being honest. Okay, now on the flip side of the coin, that some of this, that they are kind of holding back. Okay, they're probably giving you little bits of information about who they are, where they've been, what's going on in their life, little bits of information at a time. Okay, I think that they are in some state of limbo. Okay, they're coming out of like having to make some kind of very, very difficult decisions in their life here. Okay, but at least they're making a decision in this energy. Okay, and this could be tying into some kind of legal battles or something like this here. Something like that is tying in here. Okay, I think that over time with this energy, they come to some kind of mental clarity. Okay, they have a better understanding of what's going on in their life. I think they see there's a lot of justice and judgment coming through here. Okay, hang on, let me see what I'm picking up on that, because I kind of feel like this could be tying into previous relationships, like justice and divorce, and maybe a long-term relationship that they were coming out of, or something like that, but nonetheless, they are definitely. It's funny how I feel about these three sitting here, because it's like in some ways they're getting their life back on track here. Okay, and then they're gonna come and talk to you, because this is a card that just says it's basically a message. Okay, it's a message coming through. I think that they want to open up, and I think they want to communicate with you. Now, for some of you guys, like I said before, if you're waiting on this person, and if you've been hanging on for a very long time, I would just be like, you know what, I could do better, right? You deserve love. You are the lovable type. Okay, that's coming through very loud and clearly here. Okay, it is very possible that you're questioning some lies that they have told you in the past too. Maybe because when we see the mask, is definitely hiding something. They're hiding. I can't help but to keep noticing that like there's this hidden side of them. There's not enough information for you to say, like, is this person the one, or so you kind of want to proceed with caution in this type of energy, and again, keeping in mind that this is very, very general, you guys. In the justice energy, we get more than just balance out of this, but this is also seeing below the surface of this person too, you know. Maybe things are not adding up for you, but this is, you know, this is all about more truth and more honesty and doing what's right and doing what's fair, but also, again, seeing this below the surface, okay? So you really have to take this energy as it plays out in your life here, okay? The black cat, now for some of this, you know, this is an indication that, well, first of all, when we see the black cat, especially in this energy, this is all about, you know, good fortune on your side. We have the Wheel of Fortune here, you know. It is very possible that this situation comes back around. I keep hearing things left unsaid. There are things left unsaid, unknown. That is still coming through so loud and clear, guys. But it is very possible with this being in reverse and good fortune on your side. You know, normally in traditional folklore, there, you know, this is a cat that talks about, you know, being evil and evil crossing your path and, you know, things like this. But it's really, and in some ways, it's kind of like the Two of Bats energy. It's like, because the black cat has one foot in this world and one foot in the other world. So there's a decision, there's a conflict, but I feel good about what's going on with them. I just feel like there were things that they had to work out, and maybe it was a sense of needing to be a little bit more comfortable with expressing and talking and opening up or something like that coming through here, okay? There are times that people fall into their limiting self-beliefs about themselves or something like that, you know, but I do feel like the opportunity does bring itself back into balance here, okay? But like I was saying about the cat, you know, it's usually looked at as something that is evil. It's definitely, this is a situation, a person that has crossed your path to teach you an obvious lesson here, okay? But this does talk about good fortune being on your side. Again, I'm sorry I keep repeating it, but there are things left unsaid. There are things left unsaid, okay? Ay, ay, ay. But in a little Knight of Ghosts, I do feel like you're going to start getting answers that you've been looking for. I do feel like a lot of the answers are going to come directly from this person, but I also feel like the universe, your spirit guides and your angels are definitely going to bring you in some answers here too, okay? So you're not sitting around questioning what's going on, scratching your head, things like this here too. And I'm also being pulled right back into you deserve love card, okay? So maybe it is that you come to your own conclusions here, okay? You decide, you know what, I can't sit around and wait for this. And you move on to something that's more meaningful for you, right? But at the same time, you end up telling this person exactly how you feel, you know? You reiterate where your standards are, where your self-worth is, and you're just like, you know, this is, you know, some of this energy I'm not willing to put up with, you know? I'm not willing to sit around and have you second guessing what's going on here, right? You know, that's one way that this can tie in. But this is about you being very bold and direct and honest with your words and not backing down from that kind of, you know, behavior, you know. You definitely teach people how to treat you. So if this person continues to keep coming back into your life and they hang out for a minute, then they go ghost on you, or they're not telling you the truth of where they've been or what they've been through, again, keeping in mind this is general energy, guys, but it is possible that there was some kind of divorce, you know, coming through here. But nonetheless, this is you standing back in your power, you standing back in your self-worth, and you're like, I'm not putting up with this, you know? Or you just, or you just say, you get really direct and clear that you're not putting up with that kind of behavior, and giving them a chance to see if they kind of change what's been happening here, okay? But nonetheless, I can't fully say in this kind of energy, I feel like this is more of a karmic lesson, okay? With this being so broad and so general, guys, I'm gonna say that this is a karmic lesson. And this is something that you're going to have to play by ear, okay? You're going to have to be in charge and in control of this situation. You're going to be the one who has to look out for the red flags. How long have you been sitting around waiting for this person to come and talk to you? Or how long have you been waiting for this person to open up and be honest with you, you know? So this can go a couple different ways, you guys. I always encourage you to listen to your heart. Take your brain with you, but, you know, that's the most important thing here, okay? So keeping in mind, this is all about your spiritual growth, okay? So this is definitely teaching you something, okay? But let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about this. If this has resonated with you, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. I will see you guys next time. Love ya. Bye. Alrighty, pile number 3. So is this a karmic lesson, or is he or she the one? I want to dive into here because these 2 cards are kind of like repeating messages here, because this is obviously talking about the attraction that the 2 of you share, how much you guys are really into each other. You probably have some really amazing sex. Please don't inform me in the comments. I'm joking. I'm joking. But this also is about polarity and attraction and bringing things to light here. This is an energy of like expressing how you're feeling, that kind of thing here, okay? Then we go into expressing your love and expressing, again, these 2 are tying back into each other. So, but there's this need to be expressing the emotion here, okay? Expressing, I heard something else over my shoulder, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, bringing things to light. Yeah, something needs to come out of the darkness here, okay? Somebody is holding back, clearly, in this energy, okay? Now, it could be you, or it could be the person that's on your mind here, but nonetheless, okay? Hang on, let me straighten these up so they look pretty. Okay. So, Hangman and the Magician in reverse. Let's start here, because this is kind of giving me the energy of what is going on here, right? So, and then we can even tie this, because this is telling me something too. In this graveyard energy, okay, this is a scary place, a scary time for this person. I'm gathering. It could even be for you, but, and you know, some of us see a cemetery as something that's scary. We walk through it, we're thinking every little noise or anything that we see in the shadows is a scary spirit or something like this. But on the flip side of the coin, you know, when people celebrate the Day of the Dead, that's what this card talks about, celebrating the Day of the Dead at the cemetery, having barbecues, having fun with the family, that kind of thing. So it's a matter of perspective, okay? Things are not always what they seem. So it's really about somebody needing to set their worries to the side here, okay, and moving on and taking that next step, because that's what this energy is saying. It's time for somebody to take that next step, and I think you are the one who's waiting for this person to come and say, you know, what's going on here, right? You're probably like, what's the holdup? What's the holdup? Okay, a lot of unnecessary fear, obviously. Okay, so I think this person is feeling their feelings for you, and it is a scary place to be. Okay, it happens. Okay, but in the Hangman and the Magician in reverse, I feel like this person is thinking that this is probably not the right time for them.
They are obviously falling quickly into their ego. Again, it's their perspective, okay? Feeling the fear and feeling trapped is their perspective on this situation, okay? This is why they're not really expressing how they're feeling towards you, okay? Even though they feel it, you know, it's there, very clear. But in the Hangman, you know, I always talk about this card because it has a lot of meaning inside of the obvious, but the Hangman, you know, his hands are free, not necessarily in this picture, but in traditional tarot, his hands are free. He has the ability to reach up there, untie himself from his ankle, okay, and set himself free. He's not bound by his neck, you know. It's his own limiting beliefs that he's putting on this connection. Like, okay, this isn't the right time for me. I do get the feeling, though, that this person is afraid of how you might react, okay? Or if you're the one wanting to kind of open up and deliver this kind of information to this person, maybe you're worried about how this person is going to react. So, I mean, the tables can go both ways here, but this is a lot of unknown fear. It's a lot of unnecessary fear, okay? And things are definitely not how they seem. Definitely not, okay? But, you know, too, in the Magician, normally when we see him upright, we're talking about, you know, somebody who says, I'm ready for this. I'm ready. I have what it takes. I have my ducks in a row. I have, and it's funny too, because I feel like it could come to you as a surprise, or a magic trick or something like that here, okay? But in this energy, I just really gather that this person is feeling just not ready. They're not ready to make that step, and it's all because they're seeing ghosts in a graveyard, I guess. I don't know. Okay. But I think once everything kind of settles down, I think this person picks their head up and they finally realize, you know, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time right here. You know, because in this kind of energy, it's so focused on what you're doing or what you're seeing. You're not seeing what's going on all around you, you know. You're all about that little detail and just that that pin laser focused energy on one particular outcome, you know. And once this the Eight of Pumpkins is so cute, but once this person picks their head up, they begin to see things in a different kind of way. And I think they're like, okay, I got this, you know, I got this. That's really how I'm taking this energy. And the Eight of Pumpkins. Aren't these cards so cute, guys? I had to get them for you. I've seen these around. But nonetheless, here we go. So here's where a lot of this shifts for me. Okay, so let's say hypothetically, you know, they come out of this mode of like, oh my gosh, I'm afraid to say something. I'm afraid to open up. And again, this is just about them getting comfortable and feeling safe and secure in their own skin. This is about being authentic. And maybe this is tying into you, just being authentic and true to who you are. This is what this person is going through, okay? Again, unnecessary fear, okay? Some of us like to dance at the graveside, at the graveyards, and some of us, we go ghost hunting, and some of us just never hang out, okay? But nonetheless, there's a sense of comfort that this person begins to feel, okay? They begin to feel a little more comfortable. They begin to feel like the skin on their body is just not so tense. Their muscles aren't so tense in this energy. They pick their head up and they move their perspective over to something
much, much better here. I feel like in some ways that their spirit guides and their angels are just kind of, it's funny too, because I feel like somebody is tapping this person on their shoulder saying, hey, listen, I need you to pick your head up for a minute, okay? There's better opportunities for you, or I just need you to pick up your head to see the opportunities, you know what I mean? So going over to the 10 of ghosts. I love these cards. They give me the giggles. I don't even know why. I don't know. I got some growing up to do. But this is the energy that talks about, you know, bringing things back into balance emotionally, materialistic. You know, they begin to trust themselves. They begin to trust this connection. They begin to feel more of a trustworthy kind of relationship forming, okay? But more importantly, I feel like they need to trust themselves in order to come and express how they're feeling with you, to you, okay? But this does talk about divine love, great love, that one love, that the alignment of love, the blissful relationships, the harmony, everything that happens, the positive things that happen in a relationship here, okay? And then this is all about the message, okay? I think they begin to visualize and they see this happening right before their eyes, and then they find some kind of comfort in coming forward and sharing what's been going on here, okay? Again, a little immature. I'm not mentioning any names, but she's talking to you, but she's a little immature. But again, this is the page of ghosts is all about, you know, that honesty, and there's so much curiosity in this kind of energy, watching you, that kind of thing. But this is about bringing in that communication, that message. For them, it might be just a little bit challenging, but all in all, they do bring you this information. They do want to talk to you, but it's just a matter of them stop being so scared. You know what I mean? Like, I think they work themselves up into some kind of tizzy here. I mean, this is probably the deepest feelings that I have felt for anybody in a very long time. When you really look at these cards, guys, I mean, we're looking at a very intense, romantic kind of feeling. This isn't like the surface feelings. We're not talking about surface feelings. We're talking about, in this energy too, because this is about, you know, looking deeper in below the surface of what is happening here. And once this person has felt this, it's like, I've never felt this before. What is going on here, you know? And, you know, this is what kind of creates that moment of like, I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid to say this. I'm too afraid. What will happen if I do open up, and will she retreat on me? Will she be scared of what I just said? Or, you know, some of you are just friends in this energy too. I just felt that some of you guys are just friends, and the person is having a hard time, doesn't want to ruin like the relationship or something like that. That came through here, okay? But all in all, of course, there's a lesson to be learned here, okay? But I do feel like this is the one. This is the one, especially after they pick their darn head up and realize what's happening here. I do also feel that you are patiently waiting on this person, and it is going to be very helpful for you to kind of just stay in this moment, okay, with this person. Meet them where they are. Don't rush them into love. Otherwise, they'll just get really tongue-tied, and it'll cause them to freak out more, okay? I mean, they see the graveyard as something scary or sad, or, you know. But meanwhile, when it's the Day of the Dead, we're celebrating at the graveyard. I don't know. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thanks for putting up with me, and let me know in the comments below how you're feeling about this. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up. It helps me out. I love you guys. See you next time. Bye.